Are you considering going on a road trip this summer? Well, you're not alone. I think because of this pandemic, many people are going to be going on road trips. And in fact, Martin and I just got back from a 3-week road trip across the Great American West. And stay tuned for a lot of vlogs from that trip because we're working on them and we'll be publishing them soon. But you might also be wondering what to pack on your road trip. So in this video, I'm going to highlight 30 items that we found super helpful throughout our road trip and things that you might want to consider adding to your road trip checklist. The very first items that you'll want to make sure are in your car are your car's registration, proof of auto insurance, and also a copy of your driver's license. You'll want to make sure these are in your car in case you get pulled over, which is very possible when you're going on a multi-state road trip. In fact, we got pulled over in a national park for going 5 miles over the speed limit.
Funny story, when I got pulled over, I did not have a driver's license, and I haven't had one for months because of the pandemic, caused the shutdown of all the Department of Licensing branches in Washington State. So what I did is I renewed it, but it wasn't gonna come on time, so what you do is you print a paper. So the ranger, who is basically acting policeman here, looked at it and it was valid, and he didn't even give me a ticket for the speeding.
Speaking of auto insurance, you want to make sure that you have the Roadside Assistance number for your car's manufacturer or your auto insurance. This is going to come in extremely handy in case you need assistance on the road, if you get a flat tire or need a tow. You want to make sure that you have the contact info handy. You also want to make sure to have your car's manuals on hand just in case you need to look up something on the fly. And don't forget any important permits or passes, such as the Discover Pass here in the Northwest or the America the Beautiful card for all the national parks. In most cases, you can buy these passes in person, but if you already have them, then be sure to pack them with you. You also want to have some cash and also a spare credit card, just in case. Now, I found this out the hard way because on day 1 of our road trip, and then right now I realized I didn't bring my wallet.
Guess I'm paying for everything in the next 3 weeks.
First time ever! But this whole experience taught me the importance of having some cash and even a spare credit card on hand in my car, just in case something happens. And this would also be applicable in case you lost your wallet on the road. You really have to think of the worst case scenario of losing your wallet and not having any access to money on the road. So my solution to that has been buying this personal safe, and I keep now cash and a spare credit card inside of it. The safe also might look a little big, but the nice thing about it is that it also can fit a passport, which is handy in case you end up driving to Canada or Mexico. And it's a safe that is accessed through a key or through combination. So I now keep this safe hidden inside of my car, locked away, out of sight, and it just gives me some peace of mind in case I end up in a similar situation in the future. You may want to consider doing the same for yourself. Next, you should have a copy of your car key. Now, most car manufacturers, if they have these little electronic clickers, they'll also give you an alternate version of your key without the clicker so that you can go swimming with it or get this wet. So be sure to have this version of your key with you if it's available for your car. If you're traveling with a buddy, it's also a really good idea to make sure that each of you is traveling with a copy of the car key in case one copy gets lost. Next, you'll want a roadside emergency kit of some sort. Now, there are all kinds of these kits online, but most of them will include a lot of essentials such as flashlights, a tire gauge, all kinds of little items that can help you out in a pinch. Next is a physical map or atlas of where you're going to be driving to, because you can never count on complete cell phone coverage, especially if you're going to be going in the mountains or out into nature. If you don't have a physical map, you can also consider downloading to your phone so that you can access the map even when you're offline. It's a sad reality that accidents do happen on the road, and they can indeed happen to you. This is why you might want to consider having a dash cam such as this Garmin that would just help you out in case you get into an accident, and you'll have some physical evidence, hopefully in your favor. Speaking of accidents, one of the most common is having a rock fly into your windshield. Now, this doesn't always damage it completely, but it can be really, really annoying. So in case that happens, it's a great idea to have a windshield repair kit with you. Now, we've used this in the past for when we've gotten a little star kind of crack in our windshield. We've used this to patch that up, and that's prevented a larger crack from forming. Now, right before our road trip, we actually had a little star in our window, and we didn't repair it with this kit. And so that little star ended up splitting our windshield almost in half. And so make sure that you have something like this to prevent that from happening. Most of us navigate using the GPS units on our phone these days, so make sure that you have a phone holder that attaches to your windshield or to your dashboard. This might seem like a no-brainer, but it's really important if you happen to be going somewhere and renting a car, because they usually don't come with a phone holder. You'll also want to make sure to have a charger for your phone and other devices in your car. Now, this particular charger is one of my favorites because it is a car charger, but it also has the ability to plug into a wall socket. So this has come in really handy a few times when we've forgotten to bring a wall socket charger with us. We can use this one interchangeably between our car and the hotel. However, it's so important to always have your phone fully charged that you should also consider bringing an external battery such as this Anchor battery. We always travel with at least 2 of these so that we can keep our phones juiced up on the road. Next are sun shields for the windshields of your car. Now this is really important, especially if you're going to be going somewhere hot, because things like this can prevent your front seats and also your steering wheel from getting too hot. They can also provide some privacy. These are so small and easy to fit under your seat that you should always have these in your car just in case. They also make these for passenger seats, which is really handy for making sure that you don't get overheated if you're driving all day in the sun. You're probably going to generate a fair amount of trash in your car throughout your road trip, so it's a really great idea to have a wastebasket inside of your car. This one can go either in the passenger side of the seat, or it can actually hang from the back of the seat so that it's off the floor and out of the way, and it's really easy then to take your trash out whenever you're at a gas station or a rest stop. Speaking of trash, it's also important to have a cleanup kit with you. Our original car cleanup kit only consisted of these Lysol wipes. Now, I still really like these for cleaning up little spills in the car, but now that we're living in this pandemic world, our car cleaning kit has expanded quite a bit. So in addition to wipes, we also carry a full-size Lysol spray bottle, latex gloves, a full roll of paper towels, a bunch of microfiber cleaning towels, face masks, and hand sanitizer. These things come in really handy not only for keeping our car clean, but also for quickly spraying down our hotel rooms and any other public areas where the sanitation might be a little questionable. Whenever possible, we try not to generate trash by using these microfiber towels, and every time we have a dirty one, we just put it inside of this trash bag and then do a load of laundry somewhere on the road. But we also travel with a roll of paper towels or 2 just in case. In addition to paper towels, you may also want to throw in a roll of toilet paper for those roadside stops or outhouses where you run out of toilet paper. Next, let's talk about entertainment, because you'll need something to keep you occupied for the hours that you're driving on the road. Because you can never guarantee full cell phone coverage throughout your drive, you should always download all your multimedia whenever possible. For us, that includes hours of Spotify playlists and audiobooks. We always try to pick our audiobooks based on the type of road trip that we're on. So for our Wild West road trip, that included the Lewis and Clark journals, because we really like listening to the historical context of all the areas that we were in, and also some Western novels to put us in the mood for all of the places that we were going to visit. And now let's get to one of my favorite parts, which is the snacks and drinks, because you need that for morale as well as energy while you're on your multi-day road trip. So before our big road trips, we always make a really big Costco run. And on our Costco run, we pick up a bunch of non-perishable snacks for the road. This includes dried meat or jerkies. Fish jerky is one of our favorites whenever we can find it. And also some raw nuts, trail mix, power bars, all kinds of things that we don't have to worry about refrigeration. And these are also great because they double as hiking snacks as long as you bring a smaller bag to portion them out throughout your trip. Now for us, we're perfectly happy with our non-perishable snacks, but in case you do like perishable snacks such as cheese or maybe certain types of meats or sandwiches, also bring a cooler with you or just keep it in your car just in case. Another type of snack that we like to keep on hand are mints or gum or lozenges. We really like lozenges in particular because they have the same effect of keeping your mouth fresh and also your throat moist, while also giving you some herbal benefits or immunity benefits. One type of lozenge that I don't have with me, but we really like, are those vitamin C drops because they can help boost your immunity. We also like to travel with a lot of supplements and airborne, emergency, any little things that help boost our immunity and keep us from getting sick, which has become even more important in this pandemic world. Speaking of food, don't forget to keep some utensils in your car, such as these combination spoon and fork utensils. Now, obviously these are brand new and we haven't used them yet, but the reason why I got these is because we ordered a lot of takeout during our road trip, and every single time we didn't have utensils included, and we would always forget to ask for them. That made for some really interesting meals because it's really hard to eat a salad without a proper fork. But in retrospect, having utensils that are reusable is also more sustainable because you can keep using these over and over again every time you get takeout. We also go on road trips with some camping bowls and plates so that we can easily divide food if we want to share some items. On this particular road trip, we didn't really cook any meals. We got mostly takeout and ate at restaurants. But if you do want to cook on the road, one easy thing that you can have with you is this MSR wind burner. It's kind of like a jet boil, but this is even better because you can light a flame even in high wind situations. This can come in really handy if you like to add those quick meals that you eat when you're hiking or camping, where all you need to do is add boiled water. But we like to use this for making our coffee on the road. This is an AeroPress coffee maker and also a coffee bean grinder because AeroPress makes really great coffee, but it's even better if you are able to grind your own fresh coffee beans. So the ability to make coffee anywhere on the road is really great for sustainability so that you're not generating constant coffee cup waste, but also guaranteeing that you have a really great cup of coffee because this is 10 times better than Starbucks drip coffee and a lot cheaper too in the long run. Now, if coffee isn't quite your thing, then that's totally fine. Just make sure that you have an alternate form of energy such as energy drinks or something that can give you a little boost for those days where you have to drive hours on end and you get really tired. At the very least, have some water with you. So we always travel with our Hydro Flask water bottles. I've always seen like these giant Hydro Flask, like 64-ounce Hydro Flask bottles at REI, and I never really understood the purpose of them until we started thinking about the road trip. And when you're road tripping, you're gonna want to carry a lot of water, but then if you're in these plastic bottles, they're gonna get all hot, especially when it's really warm outside. And so one way to kind of cut down on your use of plastic bottles and also keep your water ice cold is to buy one of these giant Hydro Flasks, and it keeps your water so cold and you're really gonna enjoy it on these hot days.
Yes, it is really nice and I need it immediately.
These final items are seasonal items and they really depend on the time of year that you're traveling, but one thing to have is an ice scraper or a snow shovel in case of freak snowstorms, and also an umbrella in case of a downpour or rain. If umbrellas aren't your thing, like for me, then at least have a packable rain jacket in your car just in case of a downpour. These packable rain jackets are also great for adding an extra layer of warmth in case the temperature drops. Make sure you also have some blankets in your car, such as a picnic blanket or a beach blanket, and also a warmer blanket for snuggling up at night or for watching sunrise or sunset. Finally, you might also want to add a compact pillow to your car for your road trips. This is a Thermarest camping pillow, which I use mostly for camping, but I'm really glad I brought it on the road trip because it saved me a few sleepless nights when I ended up in hotels with overstuffed pillows. And I just can't sleep if I don't have the right type of pillow, so this really helped me get to sleep a few nights. It was also really handy for adding some back support for sitting hours in the car while driving, and also for taking disco naps in the car throughout the day. Well, there you have it. There are 30 items to add to your essential road trip packing list. So all of these items came in super handy or were inspired by events on our recent 3-week American West road trip, which we took in the middle of a worldwide pandemic. Now, if you're curious about how it was for us to travel during the pandemic during our 3-week road trip, then stay tuned. We have a lot of travel vlogs coming up, as well as more packing videos where we talk about things like what we put in our day pack hiking bags, as well as all the clothes that we brought for our 3-week road trip. You can also download a free checklist using the link in the description below. Is there anything that you would add to this road trip list? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more content from the Wild West road trip coming soon.